And here's Coach Mark Cuthbert of the Independence Lady Patriots. Mark, obviously it was a tough one for you guys tonight. It seemed like every loose ball, every ball they needed to get, the 50-50 balls, they were getting all those.
Yeah, I mean, in a game like this, them matter, and it seems like the ball always bounced 2 feet to them instead of us. Or if we needed a basket, we could never find them.
They had a big run. They had it was a 12-0 run to start the second. Actually, the end of the first. How big to the end of the second? How big was that for them to have that 12-0 run? Because you guys made some stuff happen in the second half.
Well, that's the difference in the game. We try to slow it down, and they hit big shots when they needed to, or made big plays when they needed to, and the ball didn't bounce our way this time. We fought 3 times, and it came down to 2 or 3 possessions, and I think we left a couple of possessions on the floor that really hurt us in the end.
There in the fourth, it was 35-31. I think you guys had 6 empty possessions. Where if you could have scored and got down to 2 or 1, maybe you're talking about a different thing. A couple of them were runouts. Their defense probably had a little to do with some of that, but 2 of them were kind of runouts. You got to think when that's happening, maybe it's not your night.
Yeah, we stop them and the ball bounces out and they get a run out, and we push it and miss a layup. But we played great defense the second half.
Well, it got you back in the game, really.
They got back in the game, and they pushed it to 3 or 4 times, and we just couldn't get over that hump.
How do you explain a situation like that where you have 6 in a row, empty possessions, and you don't really notice it if it's a 12-point game or a 14-point game, but when it's 4 and you got a chance to get it down to 2 or 1, how do you explain to your team that's the way it bounces sometimes, ladies?
It's hard to explain, especially when you're dealing with 14 and 15-year-old kids, that they think it's the end of the world if they screw up, or, but, we're a young team and battle-tested, and this atmosphere was, amazing.
Really was. Probably the biggest for a girls' game here.
It's one of the biggest crowds I've ever seen in this building. So
you've been here since it opened almost, right?
So playing in that, playing 2 freshmen and 2 sophomores.
Well, you didn't talk about them. The moment didn't seem to get to them, especially your 2 stars, but the girls overall. Defense, basketball sorts itself out. Sometimes you can tell they're tight. It didn't look like they were ever tight, and in a situation where they weren't going to be able to maybe pull it out.
Well, a lot of them played in big-time games. Maybe not in basketball, but you had Allie and Harmony. And Cameron played in the state softball tournament and all the big regional games. Lacey's played in the county championships, her and Macy. So, and the crowd up here, the home game up here, got them used to it, and they just play. At the end of the day, they give everything what they could, and it just didn't go our way.
All the talk coming in was who should have hosted it. Now, the agreement was made at the sectional meeting, and that should be the end of it. What's your thoughts on it now? I would never, and I don't think you would apologize for hosting the game. You're not going to, and you shouldn't have to because it was an agreement. But what are your thoughts on that now? Do you think that gave them added motivation?
It might have. It is what it is. That was, the bylaws, and I thought, fighting for my team. They deserve to be in there just as much as Westside. I know they beat us twice, but based on the criteria, we deserve to host the game. And so, it is what it is at the end of the day.
How big of a learning experience is this for your young team, do you think? How much will you get from this? I'm sure you'd rather go on and play and keep playing, but how much will they get from this?
Well, it's a great experience. It's the first time we haven't been in a playing game. And playing in this atmosphere, it's only going to help them in the future. Finishing 19-4, is remarkable.
That has to be a school record, right? Even the state tournament team.
It would have to be close, but for what they've accomplished from where they began, the sky's the limit for this bunch.
All right, Mark, I appreciate it. Thank you,
Dave.